Welcome to episode 109 of Organizations. No?
No,
What?
I
What
was
are
just
you
shaking my
shaking your
head.
head?
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Oh, I
A lot of
thought I had it wrong.
episodes.
I thought I had it wrong. Okay,
No.
109 of Organizations Win Championships, an Odyssey 2400 Sports podcast, along with our producer Spencer Ray and my podcast partner Lugens Dork. I'm Dan Bernstein. And,
That's a good one. That's good.
and your Chicago Bulls are 22 and 31. Say it with me.
Oh,
10th in the NBA
yeah, hell yeah,
Eastern
10.
Conference. All
Woohoo!
right. They are 22nd of 30 in overall net rating. They have dropped to 3rd of 30 in pace. They had been leading the league in pace for much of the season, but are now down to 3rd. So we have a bit of a revamped roster with some new names on there as they head into a very strange little 2-game home series against the Detroit Pistons. It's back-to-back tonight, tomorrow night, not a home and home. Both games here. And we shall see how everybody gets worked in. Now, but this has been a mailbag. I solicited some questions via Blue Sky and via Twitter, and we got some good ones, so we're going to get to that. But Jason, I want to bounce this off you in case you haven't heard it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Kendall Gill was on Bernstein and Harris today on the Score.
Oh, didn't he say something about Modest, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't know that was on your show.
Yes. He said
that Modest is Cooper Flag. Okay.
He said Modest is better than Cooper Flag.
Kendall, I love you. Give me a second, Dad. Kendall, I love you. I had some great conversations with him before covering some Windy City Bulls games. Love him. We love Will. We love Jason. But man, I disagree with that. The thing is that in this case, I don't want to diminish Modest because Modest has been playing great lately. And I do think that Modest could be a really good NBA player. And I think he could there's no reason why Modest can't be an all-star. He has a skill set. He's a really solid player. He doesn't really have too many weaknesses except for his strength right now, but that will come with time and work ethic, which which signs are pointing to that he has. However, I don't know if I've ever seen somebody at the college level, because Wemby was an international prospect. I don't know, and Zion was super hyped, but I don't know if I've seen someone at the college level who is freshly 18, mind you. He should be a senior in high school. He was 17 to start the year, and I know they lost to Clemson, but I've never seen somebody this NBA ready and someone that I am this sure of or super sure that he will be a star in the NBA. It is there's nothing that would say that he wouldn't be barring injury. That is it. Or maybe him murdering somebody. But I don't think that'll happen. There are a lot of things with the law that could go wrong, but aside from that, be that as it may, he's a really, really, really highly touted prospect, and for good reason. And there's a reason why Modest went 11th in this past draft, which was one of the worst drafts in NBA history. I do think he should have gone sooner. However, he wasn't the consensus number 1 overall, while Cooper Flag is the consensus number 1 overall selection in a draft that is extremely talented. Dan Bernstein, you have the floor.
I told Kendall that I would bet a crispy dollar that he goes, give it 3 years. I said, okay. I said, I'll give it 3. I'll give it 5. I'll give it 10.
15.
At any point when you want to compare, I said, pick a stat. Let's go with win shares. I said, will you pick whatever NBA stat you want to judge it on, and I will bet you that whatever length of time it is, outside of injury, that Cooper Flag is going to be a better player than Modest Bouzel.
I think he already is.
Oh, what he did to the U.S. national team?
Oh, he killed them.
I mean, come on. Come on now.
NBA All-Stars.
Yes.
Like superstars.
The stories that came out of those practices,
What the players were saying about him.
Yes, beyond what you saw in highlights, the players were saying that he was a handful. Current, multiple time,
and he was
future Hall of
17.
Famers. Yes. Future.
He was born in December of 2006.
That's wild.
I am 2 years older than this guy. About. I don't know the exact day. I'm sure it's not after Christmas, which is when I was born, of course, the Jewish kid born on Christmas. But like, I don't know. No. I just think that's dead wrong.
No, I just said I hope you're right. I said,
I hope so too. Unless the Bulls get the number 1 overall pick.
I know. So I'm going to win this bet, but man, I hope you're right. So you want to dive into the mailbag?
Unless the Bulls pick them somehow. Okay.
You want to do the mailbag?
Sure.
All right. Well, let's start. Let's start via Blue Sky. First question here from Pat. Why isn't Javon Freeman Liberty playing for the Windy City Bulls?
Oh, I didn't even know he got cut. Huh.
I don't think he did. And I don't know the answer. I thought you'd know. Is he hurt?
Let's look it up.
Is he? I didn't
know that was he's on the team.
First question. I know it says he's on the team. Maybe he just hasn't been playing.
Maybe he just hasn't been good. Oh no, he has been. He hasn't played this season at all. Huh? Maybe he is hurt. No clue.
Well, thanks.
There's a lot of info on G League guys.
Okay, this question from Matt. Bulls will be picking around 10 in the upcoming draft. Who are the prospects we should be watching if that's where they draft?
The first guy is the 7-footer from Duke, Maluwak, or Kalaman Maluwak, I think his name is. The guy who played for South Sudan in the Olympics.
The center, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a name to watch. He's 7'1", 7'2", super long, super athletic, rim runner, and that's somebody that every team needs. I think that would be a good fit for the Bulls, hence why I thought they were going to take Yves Missi, but Modest was there. However, I wouldn't have been wrong about them taking Yves Missi because I think he's a jump shot away from being Bam Adebayo. But I think that's a name to watch. There's so many.
I would put in
good.
Concanepal's good. The Illinois wing, Casper.
Oh, I love him.
Jacket Jonas.
Yeah,
I like him too. The guy who's really dropping is BYU wing Igor Demine. Yeah, he was viewed as a top 3 guy early, and now he's falling to around that particular area. So you're also talking about Oklahoma point guard Jeremiah Fears.
Illinois. He went to Rolling Meadows or something. He went
did he?
I don't think it was Rolling Meadows. He went to before he transferred to some prep school. He went to he's from Joliet.
Okay.
So he went to what high school?
Joliet Catholic, maybe? I don't know.
Probably. Yeah, I think it might have been Joliet Catholic.
There's Ian Jackson, the shooting guard from North Carolina. Liam McNeely from UConn.
McNeely I like. Jackson would be a reach. He's a project. I think that he's got a lot of tools, but in this draft, in last year's draft, I think he could have been a lottery pick. I don't know about this year.
Also, there's a French point guard named Nolan Traore.
Heard of him. Yeah, I don't know much about him.
But those are just some of the names.
I love Jacket Jonas, man.
I do too.
I think he's going to be great.
I like that name too.
Coming off of the Luka episode last week, nothing wrong with drafting a European player. It was cool to see. It was still so weird to see him in a Lakers uniform. That was messing me up.
Here is a question from obviously an attentive OWC fan.
Oh God, is this about Javonte Green or
Robbie? Robbie says, "I have a question for Balsac Biombo." He says, "How many players on this current Bulls team would you consider a championship player?
I feel like that's a very relative question, because if you're saying a championship player for a team this year, it would not be a lot of guys. I think if that includes bench guys, I think Io, I think Kobe is a, off the bench scorer guy.
Mhm.
Uh, damn.
Guys who could
Maybe we don't know enough about Herder yet, but if he was Bogdan Bogdanovic, you know what I mean? But
sure.
in the future, because they really don't have much. But in the future, I think Modest could be on a championship roster. I still think that in a few years, Io could be. I'm unsure about Kobe, but who knows? Who knows how much better Julian Phillips is going to get? Because I'm still pretty high on him. And I'm still high. Like, I was wrong about the whole 15-8 thing. I really like Jalen Smith a lot.
Yeah, if you start looking at bench guys who could be in a rotation on a champion, I think
For
there's
sure.
I think there's any number that can. But as far as material contributors to a
Modest.
champion,
In the future, Modest, and that's might be it. Really.
eventually,
Right.
this question from Brad: is American democracy over?
Ask me in 3.5 years. It's not
I
in good shape, especially after the place a few miles east of here is now the Gulf of America. Makes me sick. I saw. Hold on. Hold on. I mean, I know this isn't a political podcast, but I saw this hilarious. At Tulane, there's an app called Fizz. Other schools have Yik Yak, where basically it's like a school Reddit page where people just post their thoughts anonymously. And somebody posted a picture of the Google map saying Gulf of America, and someone said, "I'm gonna keep dead naming the Gulf of Mexico until Trump realizes trans rights." And I thought that was great.
Oh, clever.
Yeah.
That's pretty clever. Somebody said that
So
also they're trying to pass something where if Trump is able to buy or invade Greenland, he wants to change it to red, white, and blue land. Not kidding. Like some congressperson was actually writing that into. I mean, it's just getting ridiculous. All right. Question.
it's been ridiculous.
Question from Matt.
Yeah.
Guys, would the Bulls be in better shape if they moved on from the current front office and promoted Billy Donovan to the top spot? Different
There's
questions.
no clue.
They're different questions. I absolutely think that this front office got to prove something soon.
Yeah.
They've had a lot of time to do nothing. They've had a lot of time to do nothing, but Billy doesn't want to do that. Billy's a coach. I think
I feel like Billy's kind of been screwed with this regime. I really do, because he hasn't been given the proper tools to really make a significant run or even rebuild. And it sucks, because what he's been able to do with the teams last year was not successful, but what he's been able to do this year developmentally, and people are always criticizing him, saying play Modest 30 minutes a game, 35 minutes a game, all this sort of stuff. And it's just like, he's done about everything he can. And you're not going to tell, as much as we want them to tank, you're not going to tell a head coach, stop trying, So we can't be mad at Billy. It's the front office's fault. And so I think Billy's been screwed over. Billy's a really good head coach. Come at me if you want for saying that, but I think Billy Donovan can easily take a talented team to the NBA Finals and win it. Like if he had Boston's team from last year, I think they would have won the NBA title. It's tough. It's tough, and I do think that they really need to. They have one more offseason and maybe I guess next season to really turn things around, but it's going to be tough with the limited draft capital and screwed roster construction.
There's another question in that regard. Do you think Arturas Karnisovas believes what he's saying and doing about competing for championships? Or do you think he's conforming to ownership wishes and creating the best, albeit terrible, logic to support it? In exchange, he gets a nice, cushy job with little likelihood of losing it.
I would go with the latter. No explanation needed, in my opinion.
No, I think he does believe it. I disagree.
No.
I don't
Really?
think, no, I think this is a little too conspiracy minded. I do think there were times where he was told directly last year. I think we need to make sure we differentiate. Yes, there were times where his marching orders were compete, stay competitive enough, fill the arena. We want to compete. We want to get a playoff gate or two. We want to win some playoff games. I don't think that's the case now. I don't think they would have traded Caruso. I don't think they would have traded Zach. I think he may actually believe some of this stuff, and that scares me a little more.
Yeah.
If I'm being completely honest with you, that's
Well,
I find more frightening.
Yeah, and that could be an argument because if you look at Denver before he left, I mean, I feel like obviously he lucked out with Jokic, and he's the best player in the NBA, and by a mile, in my opinion. And he drafted Jamal Murray, but outside of that, and Will Barton was there for a while, but outside of that, wasn't the biggest move he made was signing like a 33-year-old Paul Millsap, you know? Like he kind of maybe he does just get rosters good and then I don't know. But I do think that ownership has something to do with it because they don't care. There you go.
This question comes from Daniel, who said, "What was your Super Bowl Sunday snack?"
Shake Shack.
Oh,
Yep.
it's not real creative. But...
I had Shake Shack.
Okay.
I had Shake Shack on Super Bowl Sunday. I went to a friend's house, had some beers, ate some Shake Shack, and watched the Super Bowl. It was much better than going to the boot when it was raining.
Is that the same house where you always are?
Yeah.
On that corner? Okay. Because you're there more than you're in your dorm.
I'd rather be there than in my dorm because it's a room versus a house. They also have a dog who might have like something wrong with him. Like he's super nice.
What do you mean?
But like,
is this the house with all the girls?
Yeah, but guys go over there all the like. It was like a house party, and there's a German Shepherd named Louis.
Yeah,
and
Louis. What?
What?
And he's funny.
But there's something actively wrong with him. I don't know if it's social anxiety. We use a word that is technically not like okay. Like, hold on.
No, don't. When in doubt, don't use it.
I mean, it's not like bad, but it's just.
I thought you were going to use the R word.
No.
Oh.
If you remember the episode of South Park when Cartman shoves burgers in his ass,
yes, I remember. Okay,
that's what we think he has. I just don't know if you're allowed to say it anymore.
I don't think it's a differential diagnosis anymore because I think it's been looped into a larger group of spectrum disorders. But I don't know if dogs. I don't think dogs can have that. I don't.
But there's something up with that dog. He's super nice, but there's just something.
How does it manifest itself?
He'll just like run in circles for no reason. You'll try to pet him. He'll run up to you, and then he'll just run away. He loves his alligator toy, and you can kind of troll him with it. And then as soon as you'll give it to him, and he'll chase you around the house if you have it. You finally give it to him. He doesn't even pick it up. He looks at it and sprints away.
Okay.
He's just interesting.
It sounds more like a cat. Are you sure it's not a cat?
It's a big ass German Shepherd, and he bonks his head under the table all the time.
Maybe it's just a dumb dog. Some dogs are really stupid. No, I'm serious. I mean, like,
don't do Louis like that.
Haven't you ever been around a really dumb golden shepherd? I mean, golden retriever.
Yeah, but it's a German Shepherd. Usually they're not stupid.
It's a dog. They've got a brain the size of a racquetball. There's a lot of variance. It's possible you just ran into you caught a brick maybe with a dumb dog.
He's nice though.
It's fine. I'm glad he's nice. Good for him.
His SAT score would not be that high. Let's just put it that way.
Well, he's not applying to schools, I don't think. Is he applying to obedience schools or something?
I don't know.
All right, let me see. I believe that was our last question that we got.
Oh,
so,
sorry. We just started talking about a dog.
No, if that's the case, I believe it's the last question. There wasn't like one of those like weird trolling questions. They're all asking. There's a bunch of Bears questions in here.
Yes, yes.
You can't ask Bears questions when I solicit questions for the Bulls podcast. That's not. I want
one. You asked a question about the American democracy?
Yeah, I guess that's true. Let me find it here. Oh, just boy. One. All right, hold on.
Nobody ever gets to hear me talk about the Bears, except for my poor friends.
Where's the Bears question? Did anyone... Oh, no. This is asking about the Bears. If the Bears going to fix the offensive line, and does Poles know how?
Okay, don't need to answer that. That's
stupid. Right.
I want to go
right. Yeah, that's the only good one. The other ones
offense.
Are just no offense. The other one's just weird. Okay, well, thank you for that, and thanks for being a part of the organization's Win Championships mailbag.
Okay, Bears. I think they're in a decent spot. I think they should sign Trey Smith. I don't care who they draft as long as it fills a need. They really need a defensive tackle, especially after watching that Super Bowl, because my God, was that insane. What Vic Fangio did to Andy Reid. Like he shoved it up his ass and more. That's a lot of work. That was a fistful of, I don't know, a lot.
The imagery is troubling.
Yeah, that's why I did it.
Very troubling. All right, what do you say we hit the showdown?
Sure.
First, we congratulate our winner of the last crowd question. And that was Andy. He won another one. Two-time winner, Andy, who correctly answered Jason's question. Could he name the three most recent Bulls draft picks who made an all-star team with the Bulls? And they were, in order, Jimmy Butler, Derrick Rose, and Joakim Noah. So congrats to Andy, who got that one. So now I'm going to ask Jason his question.
Okay.
The Bulls have 2 games against the Pistons.
All right.
That we know there's one that is tonight and another one tomorrow, Wednesday night. Mm-hmm. So the question's this. Using total win shares, who are the best players to have played for both the Bulls and the Pistons?
Michael Jordan.
The Bulls and the Pistons, who have played for...
played for both of them.
Yes,
I thought you were saying like one.
No. Who are the best on the list of players who have played for both teams?
How many do I need to name?
Give me the top 4.
Rip Hamilton.
He's 4th.
All right. Ben Wallace?
Number 1.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
65.9 win shares.
Dennis.
Number 2.
Okay.
So Wallace, Rodman. Number 4 is Hamilton. Who's number 3?
I'm trying to think of guys that maybe played for what, like Rip Hamilton played for the Pistons forever and was on the Bulls for one season. I'm trying to think of.
Yeah, well, and actually it's funny because Taj Gibson is 5th. And he only played 1 season with the Pistons.
Right, yeah.
But people don't realize that he had 36.8 win shares with the Bulls.
A good player. He's still playing, right?
really productive player. Well, I mean, Thibs just it takes him out of that little box he keeps him in and dusts him off and puts him out there. There are a couple guys who were close on the heels of Gibson, and I'll just tell you who they are. And they are Ben Gordon and Derrick Rose. Because Derrick Rose was...
Rose is 7th on that list. Damn.
I also want to shout out...
My guess would have been Ben Gordon.
Yeah, a little further down the list, Old Man Bucket's Lindsey Hunter. We shouldn't forget. Even though his win share with the Bulls was negative 0.3.
The only question I'm going to ask is, was I alive when this guy was playing?
Yes.
Okay. Is he still playing?
Yes.
Oh. Interesting. Is he on one of the teams now?
No.
Okay. That was 3 questions, not 1. I apologize.
That's all right. Keep going if it helps you.
Still playing, not for the Bulls or the Pistons.
Correct.
Well, I've been playing for a while, I'm assuming, if it's total win shares. He's been in the league for...
Yeah, he's been in the league. This is what, his 13th year?
Okay, so like early to mid 30s.
Mm-hmm. Early 30s.
Still good?
If used properly, yeah.
Shooter?
No.
Big?
Yeah.
Oh! Where's my shirt?
Yes, you got it.
Where's my shirt?
Where's my super suit?
Where is my super suit? Where's my shirt?
You don't have to find your Andre Drummond shirt. You got it.
Yes, I do. It's Andre Drummond. I should have gotten that sooner. I don't know how I didn't.
And if you start looking...
How is that not my first guess?
If you start looking through the Bulls' all-time leaders...
My guy!
There's a remarkable number of categories. The rate stats and per minute stats in which Andre Drummond is an all-time Bulls leader. It's really kind of cool.
Oh, Andre Drummond has been a really productive NBA player.
Yep. And reinvented himself.
Yeah. All right. There you go.
All right.
Was Rip Hamilton supposed to be the hard one?
No.
Okay.
I don't think anybody was supposed to be particularly...
My question has to do a little bit with football, but mostly with basketball. So we know in not dramatic fashion, in belt to ass fashion, the Chiefs did not three-peat. Can you name every NBA team to three-peat? And the years that they did it, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 three-peats in NBA history. 4 of them are actual three-peats, and 1 of them is a 7-peat. So there you go.
Okay. The Bulls.
Bulls in 91-93, and the Bulls from 96 to 98. Correct.
The Celtics.
Celtics from 1959 to 1966.
Yeah,
so now you have there's only... So there are 2 more eras that you have to get, but I want you to try to get the years.
Oh, I'm not going to know the actual years. Did the Spurs do it?
Spurs never did it.
Did the Lakers do it?
It was the Lakers, and they did it twice. Now, can you get
70? 1970, like
not
70,
even
71,
70s. Not even close to the 70s, because 71-72 was the Bucks, I believe, or 70-71.
Yes, yeah, it was, and then the two Knicks teams.
Yeah, Willis Reed. Yep.
I don't know the years.
So the first one, their best player on the team was George Mikan.
Oh, come on. That's the Minneapolis.
1952 to 1954.
That's the Minneapolis Lakers.
Still the Lakers. Same team.
Okay.
And the second one was 2000 to 2002 with Kobe and Shaq. There you go.
Is that it?
And Phil Jackson. Yep, that's it.
Okay.
Surprisingly.
So the LA Lakers have only done it that one time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Okay.
Who knows now with the Slovenian wonder?
Yeah, did you see the look on his face when he
He
looked
made
up?
that fast break pass.
He looked up court. He's like, "Oh shit, that's LeBron." He's like,
Yeah,
"I guess I'll
he looks
just
so
pass
happy.
it to LeBron." Yeah, it's like, "Oh, this is cool."
He's
I
playing a
get
different role. He's playing a little bit more off ball, but I think everything will figure itself out. Like when you have two great players like that, it'll be fine. And LeBron is still moving so well, and also the whole narrative about the Lakers needing a big man, they just Luka to Jackson Hayes. I kind of like it. I've
they
always
need
been
another. They do
they
need another.
they need another, but I've always been high on Jackson Hayes, and I think they could win a title if Luka figures it out, and just shakes the rust off. I think they could win a title this year with Jackson Hayes as a starting center.
You'd get a big
Luka
number on it.
Doncic and LeBron James on the same team.
You'd get a big number on it if you bet it. So here's
I think they
your
could. I'm
crowd
not saying they
question.
will.
Here's your crowd question, and it's perfect timing here. We know that LeBron James has had multiple triple doubles this year. Only one other player in NBA history has registered a triple double at the age of 40 or older. Who is it? So if you can answer that question, you can send your answer to @Dan_Bernstein on Twitter, @Dan Bernstein on Blue Sky, or @Jason.Bernstein_ on Instagram. Other than LeBron James, who's the other player to score, to register a triple double at age 40 or older?